All right, everyone. How is everyone doing? I know it's been a hot minute. Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Icey Rails Podcast. I am your Ice Dragon Rayron VR. And man, it's been a hot minute. Last weekend, we didn't do pretty much hardly anything with the channel besides some shorts. And that was because we were at the Samra 47th Train Show Jamboree that just concluded. Hey, Thomas F. Welcome. How you doing? How you doing? So I released a video with that, and then we had scale trains in town. Last Saturday was just so busy. Man, it was crazy. So it took me about it took me about 9 hours in total to edit that train show video, which ended up being over like 3 hours worth of raw content, and I edited it down to about an hour. So it's been crazy, definitely crazy. Now my train show haul video was supposed to come out today, but I realized I had to make one edit to it, so I'm hoping to get that released sometime this weekend. I'm not sure when, but kind of got a little bit of Easter eggs behind me on some of the haul. So as you can see, I don't know if you can tell, but that is a picture of the American Freedom Train. And then we got the big boy 4014 right there that'll go kind of around the wall. So, and then some few other updates. We've got some stickers. So we've got mini prints right here, and then scale trains when we went to the Scale Trains Roadshow event, and then all the stickers that we got from are up there. So we got some stickers. But yeah, it was crazy. We had the train show early in the morning. I basically had a media pass that allowed me to get in and actually record the train show before it was open to general public, which was pretty cool. And then we went over to the museum to run trains there. And that footage will be used in a Samurai Fun Run video coming up, probably in about 2 weeks, I would imagine. Because I've been noticing about every 2 weeks we'll get a Fun Run episode out. So yeah, it's just been a crazy weekend. So yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying all the videos. My train show videos are definitely different in the fact that I record them from a POV perspective. So I think that's the best way to do content, in my opinion. That's how I like doing train shows on my channel. So they're definitely quite lengthy, but you get to see all the vendors, you get to see all the layouts, and that's just how I prefer to do things. But yeah, those two, this train show was a little bit small, but it packed a punch. There was a lot of great deals that got a lot of new engines to show you guys. I cannot wait. There was a general theme in my shopping, if you noticed in the video. There's a lot of hints and Easter eggs in there that kind of led to a haul video that should be coming out this weekend. But yeah, I got that working on, and then I've been doing a lot of work in this layout. So not typically on the layout itself, but more of the content creation side of things. I'm getting my workbench kind of more organized. That was kind of the latest edition. So as you can see over here, got some removable totes, which allows me to get any hardware that I need. So little by little, this room is getting there. It's a train show. It's always a blast. No matter what the size train show, it's always nice to have a train show. Very nice. But yeah, definitely had a great time. I think I'll tease a little bit more. Now, don't pay too close attention for the sticker. I actually bought this like in a bundle set. But so this little guy, it was definitely used, but we got it's an older Broadway Limited, and I've tested it. It just needs a speaker removed, so I've been in the market to find a speaker, because this one's kind of blown out a little bit. but it is a gorgeous 242 Missouri Pacific Line steam engine. Quad 1. So this is just one of several locomotives that we've picked up. But it's definitely a runner. I've got to grease it up a little bit, oil it up a little bit. Like I said, replace the speaker, which this is perfect because I want to practice with speakers and DCC installs and so forth. So this will give me practice into replacing the speaker, and this will be a perfect runner. I got a good deal for this. So I'm definitely excited for it. So that is what's to come, and many more on the train show haul video. Very nice. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a kind of mini mail call. Got some few things in the mail that didn't really warrant a video per se because it was just not enough to make a full video, so I decided to put it here on the Icey Rails Podcast. This person wants to remain anonymous, but we got in the mail, got some more signals. Now these are actually really useful. Now if you don't want to use the Digitrack signals, what you can actually do is cut it off at the stem, and then there's these little terminals that you can actually, or metal strips there that you can actually solder a normal prototype signal head onto the little connector from Digitracks, and now we have basically a plug-and-play system. Very useful, and I can't wait to do a video on those. So again, thank you guys so much. The community is definitely awesome. So we got basically those two in the mail, which is awesome. Can't wait to use it. But definitely useful. And also in the mail, something I've been reading a lot lately because, you know, we're into signal work when it comes to layout. Got this in the mail. It is the guide to signals and interlockings. I didn't know this existed until I got this in the P.O. box. And I tell you what, there's some juicy information here when it comes to just signals and interlockings. It has the basic stuff that I knew, but then it goes into a lot more detail into the particular railroads when it comes to signals. So when it comes to signaling, I think I'll just do my own scheme, but this one gives me a lot of good ideas. So I cannot stress enough, these type of books are really useful. I just didn't realize that this one was out. So again, thank you to the Icey family for these wonderful gifts. Again, I do have a link of my P.O. box down below. It's also on my website as well. So again, if you want to, feel free to, no obligation necessary, of course. If you want to do stickers or anything like that, you know, feel free to you know, send those in. It'll be kind of cool, and then we can showcase it here on the Icey Rails podcast. So again, thank you very much for that. Okay, let's see. I think it's on to the main event, which is what have I been doing on this layout. Now, obviously, it's kind of in the title a little bit. I'm hoping this works. I haven't tested it live yet, so we'll see. Oh, that's interesting, Thomas. Interesting. A person that makes 3D printed add-ons. If you know the name, let me know. That could be useful. That could be really useful, actually. Because then all you have to do is glue it on, and then you have your interconnects, which is perfect for modulars. And that could save me a lot of money, too. Because each signal head's like freaking 30-40 bucks nowadays. Okay, really I should have this up, but let's see if it captures the chat here. But yeah, man, it's been a busy week. Been really busy. And then another video that's going to be coming out. I've got some more POV train cam videos that's going to be coming out. So I did end up buying another camera to hopefully save the Micro Mart camera car, but that also failed as well. So I don't think there's any way I can save that car, which is unfortunate. So I'll figure something out to do with it. It's a nice car still. It's just the camera system's completely trash, unfortunately, which is sad. But there's really nothing else that I could do. So okay, so let's go on to one of the main events here. Today we're going to be showcasing the MKT. This is the Heritage Unit from MTH, Mike Train House. And this is the MKT, the 1988 engine. It marks the year of when UP officially acquired the MKT, which became a fallen flag. Yeah, if you have the a link, feel free to share it. Well, I may have to set up the permissions. I don't think I've set that up yet. Yeah, if you have the name of the person, if the person has a shop or something, because I am definitely interested. But yeah, the MKT, and to really showcase, to take the technology to one step further, I present all the cameras. So one thing that I promised I wanted to do was the security system can go up to 8 cameras, and we got 8 cameras plus 2, and so here we are. Yeah, I think YouTube didn't like it though. No, hang on. Yeah, it didn't. Let's see. Yeah, just don't put it like a URL, because I gotta mess with all the savings on it.
Someone's at the front door doorbell.
Oh, package. Yay! So that package is for me. Anyways, oh yeah, just DM me in Discord. That's fine. And then we'll advertise it. Okay. So yes. Officially got all 8 cameras connected, and so yeah, you can basically have every perspective of the layout for the most part. I know it's not the greatest quality, but it's enough to kind of capture where the train is at, which is what I was going for. And so this is definitely the master camera system. And so I kind of got a camera up there, up on the wall, so you can see the. I was trying to go for one camera to capture all of the layout, but realized it wasn't practical, unfortunately. So okay. So with that, let's go ahead and get the train going so you guys can see. So right now the MKT is parked right below me, and then it'll start going around in a circle, and you can see kind of follow the layout. Now, again, I'm still kind of experimenting with the test camera positions, and once I get a final feel for how I want the cameras, we will go into. I will eventually put like a label to each one of the cameras to highlight which module it's on. So one thing in modular railroading is that normally people put names to a modular. And so each corner is called wilding. It's part of original 8-piece set that made one full circle. The MKT train is parked on the testing range modular. The modular behind me is called Phoenix Point. And then this corner over here is called Harbor Point as well. So that's kind of the name of all the modules, and I'll eventually put the names under each camera where it's at. Now for the wilding corners, I'll probably put like wilding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 because I only have 6 corners right now. But that's kind of the idea. So let's go ahead and turn. Now this is kind of loud, but We'll play it with sound a couple times and then we'll go mute. Get the lights turned on here. And she's off. So again, let me know how the feed is. This is the first tech demo of these cameras. I'm hoping we're really stress testing the Google Fiber to see if this is going to work. And I'll go from there. Split Rock, how you doing, good sir? Welcome, welcome. We are debuting all of the cameras here for the Icey Railroad. I'm hoping that you guys can get a good kind of shot of where the train is at. And so now we have multiple different angles. So we're just kind of stress testing, seeing how things go, kind of a tech demo essentially. Again, it won't be the perfect quality, but again, just trying to stress test everything. The quality. So one thing I noticed is that I'm streaming the max quality at 480p. I want to see if I can go higher next stream, so that's the next test to do, to see how my internet will take it. Alright, so we got the train going over there. Back on Wilding, which is pretty cool. Hey Gerald, welcome. The BNSF engineer, welcome, welcome. Hopefully you had fun at the train show too, because I know you were there. But welcome everyone. Again, this is a test run, a maiden voyage of all of the cameras here on the Icey Rails modular layout. And right now we are running the MKT freight train with the random green color scheme. Don't understand MKT sometimes. They have so many color schemes. Alright. We're going to go ahead and turn that down because I feel like I'm screaming over it. I will eventually tone down the sound a little bit because I don't want to lose my voice really quickly. But yeah, so something interesting that happened. So the club that I'm part of, Samra, we were doing a fun run on Thursday, and everything was going fine. You know, I'm recording, I'm testing some more miniature cameras, and then a really bad storm came through and basically knocked out our power. And you know, when power gets knocked out, you know, surging happens. Yeah, you don't want to miss my next video on that, because I got it all on camera. Oh man, it was quite a night to say the least. Ugh. But we still don't know what the damage is. We won't know until tomorrow. So I'm hoping that the command station didn't get fried. We'll see. But let that be a lesson to everyone. And this is something that I've got here is, you know, if you have a layout, always have a backup battery and a surge protector connected to it. Because if it surges and you lose power, you can at least turn down your system systematically when the power goes out. Especially when you put thousands of dollars into a command station and several boosters. Right? Oh man, it was right outside the museum too. So basically, in order to get into the museum, there's like a big power pole on the left-hand side, and that line broke, and so there was literally a power line striking the ground, arcing, and you can actually hear that in the video. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. But yeah, it was nuts. Luckily, It was the 1982 Missouri Pacific that my wife was running, and then I was running the front runner. And the first thing I thought was like, oh no, I think my decoders are fried because the surging was so bad. Came home, tested the engines, they're just fine. So a little bit of relief. But yeah, it was quite a night to say the least. Definitely a night. So I think what I'm gonna do, I've been itching ever since Scale Trains came in. And again, guys, you can watch the Scale Trains video on this channel. I recorded the whole event of the road trip, so it was nice to meet the owner. He's definitely a humble dude. We got a lot of new information from that video. Basically, there's still no price on a J class. The GS4 Daylight looks like it's going to be the next engine after the J class comes out, which is nice. Unfortunately, from what we found out, the tooling did not come with the side rods for the steam engines. We just found out, and so that put Scale Trains back about 2 years, which is crazy to think about. And then they were going to do the big boy run, but the 4014, there were some imperfections between 4014 and the actual real life engine, and so they got to go back, make sure to get everything right and so forth. So that was interesting. It came down to a business decision between ESU and Soundtracks. They really wanted to use Soundtracks for Matherin, but unfortunately, things didn't line up, and ESU had the better business deal. So, that's the one thing we don't see about this hobby is that sometimes, business deals have to be made. So, yeah, I definitely agree. Being a SF engineer, definitely agree. Definitely agree. Let's speed up this little engine here. So yeah, there was a lot of good information from Scale Trains. It definitely makes me want to buy more from Scale Trains. I just gotta line things up a little bit more, and I am going to invest into a Loc Sound programmer. The founder made it seem like you can do all of the edits via like JMRI and so forth. I know he didn't say those particular things, but um, a lot of experienced people realize that there's still some things you cannot do with JMRI, and even JMRI has a warning saying that Loc Sound decoders are going to have issues trying to get all the CV values correct and so forth. But I'm kind of stuck in a pickle because I want to go with Scale Trains, and I forgot to ask about the DCC buddy boards because I know some people have been having issues with some of the functionalities when it comes to the lights on it. So I did forget to ask that question, but I'll get a Loc Sound programmer, and then we'll just roll with it here on the channel. It is what it is. Don't necessarily agree with the business practice, but it is what it is. So yeah, again, if you're new to the channel, welcome. The whole purpose of this podcast is just to have fun, talk about trains, and watch trains run. So it's pretty laid back. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to have fun. Right now, this is probably going to be the final configuration of the cameras. I am maxed out my camera system, and I think I've maxed out real estate space when it comes to how I can present it. I am still trying to find a way to live stream with a camera on the particular train. I've got some ideas that I'm kind of flushing out a little bit. But yeah, that's going to take a little bit more time to figure out. But I'm excited to see if I can get it to work. Because then that'll be kind of cool to live stream from like the museum and so forth. But right now, it's more of internet connection that's tough for me to live stream on location. So I tend to record a lot of things and then just live stream from here. But I've been getting the urge to put our big blow turbine on and just let that run around for a little bit. I think I'll put it on here in a second. But yeah, I was, man, so happy that Scale Trains came out summer. It was such a great experience. And again, you guys get to see exactly what a roadshow looks like, all the goodies that you get with it, with the goodies bag. So if you get the opportunity, go to scaletrains.com, figure out if they're going to be in your local area. And definitely, I cannot recommend enough, go ahead and and pop into one of those events. And yeah, like I said, in my video with the Q&A section at the very end, something else that was actually pretty interesting is that Fox Valley is going to become kind of the non-prototypical line for scale trains. So that was really interesting to find out as well. But I think I am excited for MTH. I am excited. Again, they're using ESU smoke units, which again, I think that is also new. I don't think they've ever announced that anywhere else for their steamers. So there will be smoke units to compete against Broadway Limited, which is nice. I'm not. I struggle with Broadway Limited a little bit. I really do struggle with them because I do have a few of the smaller steamers, and I'm just not impressed. And especially with the smoke units, because I've seen so many people have issues with their smoke units that they crack the literal fuselage of the steam engines, and it's just, I don't know. I'm really holding my breath for Scale Trains MTH, because if you think about Scale Trains, when they acquired MTH, that's a huge lineup of engines that they've got. Like, they've got the popular, Daylight GS4s, the Big Boy, they've got Challengers, they've got the Erie triplexes. When they acquired MTH, they acquired their entire steam line minus the side driving rods, which is unfortunate, but we'll see. Yeah, and that's what I mean. So yes, fair point. So yes, they do have it in O scale, but like I said, I'm dominant in HO scale, so my brain naturally thinks that, yeah. But you're right. It's HO scale. We haven't seen anything in ESU. Yep. So it's going to be interesting. But yeah, they acquired the triplexes. Oh man, they acquired so many steam engines. I'm pretty sure they doubled their inventory just by the MTH acquisition alone. And not to mention, they now, I think, are the only company that has a good chunk of the gas turbines from Union Pacific, because when they acquired MTH, they also got all the tooling for their turbines as well. The Gen 1 turbines, the Veranda turbines. Obviously, they have the Big Blow. And then, I don't know if you guys caught it, but when I was setting up their booth, I talked to the founder about the coal turbine, and they said that it took them 8 years, but they finally have the schematics for the coal turbine, which I am so excited for. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for them to make the coal turbine. Awesome. That's good to know. Yeah, if they're the same in the O scale, hopefully they'll be the same in the HO. That's good. That's good. That's really good to know. And that's why I think it's worth the investment to actually buy the Loc Sound programmer, because there's a lot coming up from ESU and from Scale Trains, and their presentation, it kind of sold me on their product. And especially if you follow them on YouTube, they do a lot of quality assurance updates, and in this latest video they said that they were doing a whole bunch of things to make sure that they have customer satisfaction and that the customer comes first, and that's what I have so much respect for when it comes to Scale Trains. So I'm excited for them. I really am. They're definitely up and coming. So give me 1 minute. I'm going to go ahead and get this. I'm going to go ahead and stop the MKT. I do want to bring on the Big Blob and wanting to run that for a while. So give me a hot minute. We'll get that on the tracks. Okay, so we got the gas turbine onto the main line. So let's go ahead and get going here. I will select it. 2600. All right. All right. So the gas turbine, as much as I love scale trains, they also have a little bit of their issues when it comes to their 6-axle models. Their center wheel tends to be a little bit more lower than the other two, causing some pivot issues. So it's a little finicky, but it doesn't do well over Atlas switches whatsoever. I tried to run this at the club the other day, or a couple weeks back, and it just gave me so many problems. So really, you'll just see the gas turbine here on the channel, and typically probably on these live streams. It'll be a live stream exclusive. So again, if you guys are curious how I control my engines, I am 100% Digitrax. I've got a DCS52 that's connected to a PM74 that is basically dividing all of my modulars, well, 4 modulars I should say. And let me go ahead and do this. And I have an LNWI that's basically connected to my wireless Samsung pad here, using engine driver to control this wirelessly. I love this thing. I love controlling it from the app. It just gives me so much more flexibility to functions, to consisting. It's so nice. And eventually, I want to upgrade to a DCS 240 with 220 boosters. And now the turbine wants to give me problems. So if you didn't hear that, that little clicking sound is actually when a short happens on the layout. And more than likely that short's going to happen on Phoenix Point because that's my only switch. So that clicking sound is basically short-circuiting so that way it doesn't fry anything. Fortunately, I may have to take... We'll see. I also have some kinks in my connector modulars, unfortunately. So one of these days I gotta do a check of all my modulars because they like to shift over time. So if the big blow derails again, I'll just have to take it off and I'll run the rock, or I'll just run the big boy by itself. I'll figure something out. But yeah. And also, guys, if you guys are going to the NMRA in Dallas, I will be there. Also, if you're in the local area of Texas, the new Braunfels train show, I believe, is August 15th, or not August, excuse me, April 15th. So I will be at the new Braunfels, and then I'll definitely be at the NMRA convention in Dallas in August. But I'm definitely excited because also Mini Prince is going to be there at Dallas, and he's been doing the body scans. If you guys don't know, go over to miniprince.com. Mini Prince is basically doing these 3D scans, so that way you can basically personify yourself onto a layout. He does 3D printing, and basically you can have like an HO size U, an OU, or an NU. On your layout itself. And so I've got a lot of plans set up for those scans. I cannot wait. I don't want to give it away because it's going to be kind of a surprise. But yeah, if you're going to be in Dallas, Mini Prince will be there. Go to their site to get signed up. I know he's going to be at the Denver train show. And then he'll be at the NMRA, which is going to be awesome. I can't wait. I'm super, super excited for that. All right. But again, thank you guys so much for hanging out on your Friday night. I know you could be doing all sorts of other things on the Friday night, but the fact that you chose my little channel here on YouTube, definitely appreciate the support. Hopefully you guys are unwinding, enjoying the time here. Watch some trains go around the Icey Rails modular layout. But yeah, I'm definitely excited. A lot of good things coming up for the channel. Like I said, we've got plenty of more videos to come up. I always got daily shorts going out. You'll see some of the BNSF engineers cab forward. He's got a cab forward that I really like from Broadway Limited. Humanity Junction, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Hey, Gerald, that's awesome. You'll be at the new Braunfels show? I usually go there on Saturday right when they open. So if you plan to go that time, feel free to come by and say hi. But yeah, we will. So also, Gerald, the new Braunfels train show from last year, I've got a video on this channel as well. If you want to relive some of those memories. Humanity Junction, welcome, good sir. If you guys have not, please subscribe to Humanity Junction. He is an awesome tech YouTuber when it comes to model railroading, really pushing the envelope when it comes to trains and tech. Much mad respect to him. So definitely worth a subscribe as well. How are you doing, good sir? Oh, and something else to mention. So, Gerald, if you know the exact dates, I believe it's May 19th through May 21. There is a YouTubers meet and greet over at Greeley, Colorado at the Colorado Model Railroad Museum. They have this huge, huge layout that's down there, HO scale. I've been there several times when I was young, and definitely worth going over there. And then obviously you got Big Boy 4004, it's in Wyoming, 4005, that's in Denver, and then potentially be able to see 4014 in the shop. So yeah, that's definitely something to make note of as well. I also did a video on that as well. But yeah, right now we are running the Ogden Museum Edition Scale Trains Turbine number 26. Yep, and Humanity Junction will be there as well. Yep. Yep, I'll be at New Braunfels in April. I will be at Dallas for the NMRA in August. And that should wrap up my train shows for the year. And yes, I am, as soon as Mini Prince releases the schedule for the Dallas NMRA body scans, I am going to get a body scan. And I ain't going to be human, let's just put it that way. That's my only hint. So, I've got big plans for the scan. It's probably going to be super complex too. So, I cannot wait. So that way you too can have a Rayron on your layout. I can't wait. Cannot wait. And no one else has done this type of scan before, which I am happy for. I can't wait. Cannot wait. Because I want to be unique. I want to be different. That's just the way it rolls. I don't know, human. We'll see. I am excited, though. We shall see. So let me know how the stream feels, if it's a little laggy, if not, and not being uploaded. Eventually, the next big upgrade that I need to do for this channel, obviously, is the mic system. Right now I'm just using my Logitech for my mic, which I know doesn't sound great on the opposite end. I plan to upgrade to potentially a wireless Bud microphone, XLR. Right now I'm just trying to figure out which one I want to use. And if I want to take it that far, I'm still kind of debating. So I do have an Audio-Technica 2020 that I could use that's just lying around, but I need an interface in order to do that. I've got a mixer, but the mixer tends to have a lot of static noise for it, and so I've been kind of hanging off a little bit. Nice, Split Rock. What'd you get? Yeah, it's So one reason why I haven't implemented yet is because even though this mic is not the greatest quality in the world, it's open that allows me to also capture the audio from the layout as well, so you can hear the engines rolling. So one reason why I want to use the Audio-Technica is because it's more of a cardio mic, and it has the fan that I need to try to capture what's going on in the layout. I've also contemplated putting mics along the track so you can hear the engine rolling where it's at. So I've got, again, and that's why I need to go back to the mixers, because it's got a lot of XLR inputs for it. So I'm still kind of toying with a lot of ideas on how to capture audio on the layout. It's kind of my next evolution that I need to do for this podcast. Yeah, and I'm right now that is my kind of my number 2 choice at the moment. What's really holding me back right now is just the price of things that I need to get. So I don't know. I've got other priorities, unfortunately, because I'm still trying to save up to upgrade the command and control system for this layout. So it's like, it's a little slow. It took a while just to get all the rest of the cameras I needed just for this. Because I figured the camera system was more important than the audio for right now, which I know is backwards, because normally for live streaming, audio should be number 1, but me personally, I rather wanted to capture the layout better, and so I went with that. And then unfortunately, when I was editing my train show from the Samra, my computer upgraded to the new Filmora Wondershare, which is what I used to edit, and the latest version crapped out my computer. So I had to buy a whole new computer, which I was already eyeing anyways. And fortunately enough for me, that computer was also on sale, and so I was able to upgrade. Yeah, Heath. Lighting is definitely something I need to work on next as well. The problem with lighting is that I need to hire an electrician because of how kind of old this house is. It does require an electrician to come in, and basically this ceiling fan, I need to get everything kind of rewired in the whole upper section of the roof. And so that is a priority, but unfortunately it's going to be like very last thing that's going to get done, because I want this done right. And so kind of have to save up for that one too, because I actually want to do proper rail spotlights, so that way we can get the spotlights on each modular. Hey, Wig Wag Workshop, how you doing? Welcome everyone. So unfortunately right now, hopefully you guys can bear with the lighting. I know it's not the greatest. Like, I know the camera in the upper right hand corner, it's really dark. I've been thinking about putting mobile LED lamps across the layout to help with that too. Kind of working on it. Yeah, that is for sure. And I've had this idea for a while now. It's just it took a lot of timing, took a lot of patience, took a lot of tech demos. I mean, it just took a while to get to this point. Like, I've waited 12 years to get this security system working the way I want it to. And the problem was that I didn't have a good capture card at the time. And finally, this capture card finally updated to the point that the lag wasn't really bad. I mean, there's still some latency. There's about 2 to 3 second latency between this webcam and then all the other cameras that are connected to the Swan security system. But Hey, welcome back, BCF Parts. How you doing? Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I remember. So technically, I've been live streaming for about. Let me put it this way. I've been live streaming on and off for about 10 years because I started on just after Justin.tv switched over to Twitch. And then I was streaming Twitch under a different name. And just been on and off. It wasn't until recently. Come on, cat, breathe. It wasn't until recently that I switched over to YouTube because Twitch has just been going downhill for me. And I love YouTube a lot more. And then I met, Heath, Wigwag, all you guys. And it's like, yeah, I'm going to stay on YouTube from now on. Because the community is here. I was trying to do mono railroading over on Twitch, and man, it was just rough. It was really rough. And then when Shorts got introduced on YouTube, it was perfect because I was trying to do those short second clips of just trains running by like mini rail fanning. That's the whole point of what I was trying to do. Yeah, I miss Justin.tv as well. I really do. Twitch became too corporate. And then if you ask me personally, I'm not gonna go into it. It's too political, but I prefer YouTube a lot more. Yeah. And then once Shorts came out, it was game over because I already started doing videos called mini rail fanning, but it was only like 20 to 30 seconds. When this channel, if you go back to my very first videos of this channel, it was basically mini rail fanning and having a train go by a camera, by a cell phone camera. And then once the concepts of shorts took off and I finally started to understand my rhythm for uploading shorts, it was game over. Because that's when this channel started to explode, which, yeah, you guys are awesome with that, too. Mystic Railroad, welcome. How you doing, good sir? Welcome, welcome. Yep. Justin.tv. Yep, those were the days. That's when I started watching, and then it became, because I was in college at the time, and then became Twitch.tv. And it was, the early years of Twitch was awesome, but when Amazon bought it, that's when it started going downhill. And then, if you want my honest opinion, that's when it became kind of a softcore porn site, but we'll just leave it at that. And it's like, screw it. YouTube is where it's at. But yeah, it's been crazy. Been crazy. But yeah, and then once I figured out a method for the shorts, it's like it was a no-brainer. I know there's a lot of mixed feelings for shorts, but for me personally, for the way I record and for the way I share content, the shorts was the key factor in this whole channel. And so my dedication was at least 2 shorts a day, 1 guaranteed a day, and then just keep the videos coming at least once a week. Try to do streaming once a week. And then just try, because my whole methodology is, okay, upload 1 short to get new viewers, and it's like if they're really interested in trains, I've got a plethora of videos that they can watch. And then also, hey, we've got live streams that we run trains as well, so. So, yeah. And the big thing is, I'm having a lot of fun, and it's just great. Heath, I think we all appreciate you wearing something for your stream. Let me just put it that way. Oh man, but it's great. So yeah, so where is the future? So where is the future going for this railroad? So the future is, if you can see this little modular right here, that's a testing range, basically where that camera is pointing to. That testing range is going to be swapped out because if you guys don't know, these turns, these 6 corners, are designed to have 3 rail lines essentially associated with it. Right now, I don't have access to those because I don't have switches going to them, but that's going to change once I build that modular. So kind of the next step is that we're going to go to AnyRail, and I'll put a video out on what module we're going to build in AnyRail first, and then you guys can see the process of how I go from concept to theoretical drawings to actually we'll go to the garage and start building the modular, and then we'll get it into the layout. So right now that's a little bit of work in progress because the chokehold in that system is the wood. I always try to build with Baltic birch wood because it's the most durable and it won't warp as much when it comes to temperature changes when it gets hot and cold and so forth. Unfortunately, it is hard to find around here, and if I do find it, it's super expensive, and so I may have to use some other woods to do that. So I'm kind of debating what I'm going to do next with that. But that's kind of the future for right now, so that way I can get access to that third rail, so that way I can start parking trains better. Because right now, Phoenix Point is the only one that has a switch, but I have to back up into it. So Split Rock. So what is Fremo standard is the rails is Fremo standard, and the wiring is Fremo standard. When it comes to building the actual benchwork, it's not technically the standard. It's my own standards to fit in this house and just in smaller spaces. And so it's no longer like 30. Let's see. Fremo is 26. I think it's 26 wide. Mine are 12-inch wide, which I know is a lot smaller. Risk of falling over hitting the floor, but it works for me personally. Yeah, I know, and that's the problem too. Is they can't find to ban import. Yeah. Oh. I hear you. I hear you. So yeah, we're probably gonna have to find something. We'll find something, unfortunately, make it work. But yeah, the way we do the rails and the way we do switches and the way we do wiring is all Fremo standards for sure. That is my standard, so that way I can at least connect to other Fremo modulars in the future. But my modulars are more designed for a branch line, big scale Fremo layout. Mine is nowhere near standards when it comes to mainline because obviously it's not wide enough, but I still follow some sort of standard. Alright. Give me 1 second. Me not paying attention, my engine is connected. Hi. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's get some distance on the 26. Yeah, my old club layout, the St. Louis Obispo Model Railroad Association, they use Baltic birch. I know they used to get plenty. They found a supplier over there, but again, with it being with it being banned, I imagine it's gonna be harder for them. Alright, Heath, thank you so much for dropping by. Have a good night. Again, guys, of all the places that you can be on a Friday night, you chose my little corner of the internet here on the channel. So thank you guys so much for hanging out, chilling, relaxing. This is always my favorite time when I'm able to stream and just hang out with you guys with the layout here, and hopefully you guys are enjoying it too. And that's my biggest thing. It's like I want this channel to be the gateway to model railroading. If you're new here, if you're new to the hobby, there's plenty of other channels on YouTube. When I go offline, check out Heath, check out Mystic. I think Wigwag, you got a few things I think on your channel if I remember correctly. But there's a plethora of content when it comes to model railroading. So I'm hoping if this is your first time being here, first time to the hobby, there's plenty of others also as well. But yeah, I'm still debating if I'm going to pre-order the Scale Trains J-Class locomotive. I've got some Norfolk Western coaches, and I actually do have an old Bachmann J-Class DC engine because I'm a big fan of the streamlines. So, how many layouts are you looking? That's a good question. So technically, it's just one layout. If you look at the camera down below, you can kind of see it's one big oval, and then I've got multiple cameras set up throughout that oval. So it's just one HO layout. Yeah. And so where the cameras are at, let me see if hang on. So you can see me kind of in the center there. So that is actually, you get a bigger perspective of the entire layout as a whole. So yeah, it's just one big oval. So the reason why I put the camera over is because right now that camera right there and this lighting has a really bad glare, and so I use the other cameras to kind of cover it for right now. And I think you just get better angles this way too. So it's kind of a compromise. I wanted one camera to capture the entire layout, but again, the light has been a big problem for this room. And that's why I got to hire an electrician, because I want rail lighting going all four corners to light up this area. And that just doesn't happen overnight. That's going to be like a 10K type of bill to soak up. It's not cheap. It's not cheap at all. So the lighting will probably be one of the last things that happen, and to be quite honest, it'll probably happen next year. But who knows? Because I had so many other things to replace. Unfortunately, we had a water leak in the house, so that kind of ate up. That's kind of why my Digitrack series is kind of delayed, because the money I was saving for the command station that I really wanted to get, all that money went into my water leak that I had. So that kind of pushed the series back a little bit. And then, unfortunately, this weekend, my computer crashed. So I actually had to go out and buy a new computer. And so, again, it put the Digitrack series back a little bit as well. But so I got the next best cheap thing that I could grab, which is these extra security cameras. So basically, once Amazon found a Swan-capable camera, so that way we can max out the Swan security system, so that way we can capture from all angles. So I appreciate that, Mystic. So I'm going to be buying the Digitrack's 240 command station. And the reason why I'm doing that is because it stays in spirit with my Digitrack series of how far can we take Digitracks. Because I want to go with the nicest 240 with the 220 boosters that allow me to control this layout. And then I can show you guys how to wire it if you're using it for like a club layout. I would not recommend it for a personal layout. If you have like a small layout like this, I actually have, let me go ahead and let me switch cameras real quick. So I actually have the DCS52 that's controlling my layout. It's wired to a PM74, which is my circuit breaker protection. And then I've got a DS74 or an SE74 that's controlling my signals. And then my LNWI, which is kind of hidden back here, that's controlling my throttle controls. And kind of to finish that question, Mystic, if I were to redo it again, I would not go with Digitracks, I would go with DigiKeys. Absolutely go with DigiKeys, because DigiKeys command station, again, I gotta thank Keith for this, is the universal command station, so that way you can expand out any type of control system that you want. It's compatible with DigiKeys, and I love the way DigiKeys works. Yeah, BCF. I agree with that. I mean, gotta have water. So, so the software that I'm using, SplitRock, it's Streamlabs OBS. So basically, the way my setup is, I have my Swan security cameras connected to my Swan box. My Swan box is HDMI, goes into my Hodgepodge external capture card, and that capture card gets recognized as a capture device on Streamlabs OBS, which allows me to stream this to YouTube. Now, there's a big caveat with this system. You gotta have good upload speed. So what I have here is I have my computer directly connected to my Google Fiber network, and I basically have 1 TB down, 1 TB up for fiber. Because that's one thing I realized is that I was trying to do wireless to my wireless Google Fiber router, and that wasn't doing it. So once I put the hard wire connector in there, it works just fine. And I've had zero issues with drop frames ever since. And this is probably the most stress test we put the fiber upload wise. So again, I'm very fortunate enough to have fiber in the local area to make this stream even possible. So I know with normal broadband, I don't think this would have been possible because of the upload speed. Oh, so you got the DCS51. Yep, yep. So that'll be this guy. Well, I actually had the one prior before that, which is the. This was my very first controller. Gigabyte. Yes, thank you. I think I said terabyte. Gigabyte. Yeah, you're right. Again, sometimes I speak faster than I think because I'm Puerto Rican. I speak fast, so yes, you're right, Gerald. So yeah, this was my very first DCC system. This thing lasted me many, 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 many months and years. I'm still going to use it. This is just going to be converted to a different part of my, to a different purpose. But I cannot stress enough. If you want to get into DCC though, if you want a cheap, kind of affordable way to get into DCC, the DCS52 makes a great starting command station. And the reason why I say that, my turbine is temperamental. The reason why I like the DCS52 is that it's a command station, it's a throttle, it's a PR4 programmer, and a PR4 JMI controller as well. So it's basically, four things in one. And so I love the 52. It is by far what I highly recommend, especially if you're coming from in the world of DC over to DCC. You just have to swap the wires out and then go. That's what a lot of people don't get is that, you just wire it to rail A and rail B and you have DCC. Now, granted, that's oversimplifying things a little bit because obviously you gotta have DCC engines, but all right, we're back. Take your time, no rush. Water is always important. So something else I think I'll show off here in 1 second. Let me go ahead. So this is really cool. One thing I've got to do now is figure out how to get JMRI implemented to the screen, which is going to be good luck because this is already a crap show as it is. But kind of something I want to work on. Are you already derailed? Are we playing this game already? I'm going to ground you, turbine, if you keep freaking derailing on me. And I'll just put the big boy on. It's much more reliable. I've got to figure out why it's derailing. Okay. Um... That's not good. Is my turbine stuck? No. Okay. Okay, so let's go to, let me hide this real quick. I'll eventually have a screen dedicated for JMI panel and controls and everything. Yeah. Oh, that's not cool. JMI just took a big dump on me, which doesn't surprise me. Okay, so I'm just going to show this briefly because I'm actually having connection issues with the command station and the computer. I had to restart the system, which is fine. It is fine. And of course, you're going to capture the wrong window. So the big goal for another big goal for this channel is I want to have dispatch control via JMRI, and so this is kind of the layout if you were to unwrap it. And the cut, if I remember correctly, is this corner right here, and it's basically stretched out and unwrapped. And so eventually, but my sensors aren't working because I'm having local net problems. Let me let's see if that works. But the way it's supposed to work is that it's supposed to be block detection. And as a train goes through each modular, you'll see it here on JMRI, and it'll occupy that block. This still has a long ways to go. And like I said, this right now is kind of on pause because in order to get all the block detections, I need a lot more block detectors. And Digitrax does have a 8 block detection unit. But in order to use that, I need a ground wire as well, which means that, for me personally, it means that I need to get a command station because the command station provides that ground connector. It's not necessarily ground power. Wrong way to kind of phrase it. It's a ground connection wire between the command station and the block detection unit. And so this is kind of on hold. I got this as far as I can right now. But this is the future. This is where we're eventually going to go, so that way I can control my entire layout from JMRI. And I can control signals, my engines, my turnouts, all from this panel. So it'll be a proper dispatcher. So I'm excited for that. Let me see if I can get JMRI cooperating. Yeah, Mystic. I'm a big fan of Union Pacific, especially on the transition era Union Pacific. It is by far one of my favorite eras. That's usually what I collect. And that's the thing about the hobby is that for me personally, I had to put limitations on it because there's so much that you can buy, you can run out of money really quickly. And so my general rule of my hobby when it comes to model railroading is that, I typically only buy items from the Union Pacific family tree. There are some exceptions. If I have sentimental value to a particular train, then I'll still probably buy it. Like I run my UTA Front Runner all the time, my passenger train, because I actually ridden on that train. So naturally, I have that in HO. And there's a few other exceptions. There's been some trains I've inherited from my father, some other engines that I've got in my collection just because it was either a really good deal and I couldn't pass it up. But first and foremost, UP family tree is usually what I collect. The second thing is I don't do modern. If I want to see modern engines, I just go out to the Kirby yard that's near my house and rail fan it. I don't want to bring that into my house because I want to actually run things that you can't see anymore IRL. So the most modern that I'll get is these SD70 ACE units. It's probably as modern as you'll see on my layout. The Southern family tree, nice, very nice. Do you go up to Norfolk Southern or do you just stop at the Southern? Oh boy, I am. This is fun. Oh, let's see. I'm trying to figure out because I don't want to spoil my next video, but there was basically a lot of engines that I bought in this particular family tree. And I said in the video, I'm kind of done with this family tree because I pretty much, it was crazy the amount of deals we got the last train show. And there was a lot of engines. And it's like, this particular family tree, I am done. I've gotten everything that I could potentially have dreamed of and then some when it comes to it. So it's like, I got to figure out which part of the family tree I want to focus on next. And more than likely, it's going to be Southern Pacific, I think, because I have just pre-ordered the Atherin Genesis Gen 1 Turbine Fantasy Scheme for Southern Pacific with the War Eagle bonnet. And I'm thinking that if I can find some good blackout Southern Pacific coaches with that engine, oh, it'll make for a fantastic train. I'm even doing, yeah, it just, ooh, I can't wait. I can't wait to get it. Yeah, I think it was the last, or I think it was the last Atherin announcement that they were going to release their turbines again. And they had like a B&O turbine fantasy scheme, which is pretty cool. They had the demonstrator fantasy scheme, which was pretty cool too. I was thinking about that one too, but when they showed that SP gas turbine, oh man, I fell in love with that thing, and it's like time to pre-order it. So definitely excited for that. So I do. It is the Colorado Eagle Missouri Pacific that I ran with the Challenger. I ran with the Big Boy. You'll see the Heritage Unit 1982 run that passenger train a couple times. It's probably the most prettiest passenger set I've got, behind probably my California Zephyr. Um, I'll probably I'll probably run that for next stream because I've got a steamer that I can actually use to pull that now. Yeah, oh, trust me, it is by far one of my favorite trains, probably the number 2 train, maybe number 3, because I like my big boy pulling the California Zephyr. I love my UTA front runner train, and then that Missouri Pacific is probably my 3rd favorite because it's just gorgeous when it comes to looks. A lot of my shorts coming out is the big boy with the water tenders with the California Zephyr. I call it the VIP train, but it's more of a fantasy narrative. So the whole purpose behind shorts is to get new people into the hobby. And so I try to put, like, the best way I can describe it is the narrator conductor from Thomas the Tank Engine. You know how they would just say, the conductor would say, you know, Thomas and the Passion Train, whatever. I try to use that narrative style for my titles of the shorts just to get people into the hobby, to keep it very basic, very simple. And then if they want to learn more about the actual, you know, railroad name, the more technical aspects of it, they can come to one of my other videos or to a live stream, and then we can chat about it. So that's kind of how I've been operating. But yeah. And then if you guys haven't noticed, I do a lot what I call long form content, which is you know, I do a lot. I try to do a wide range of content. So I do the very short videos at like a couple seconds when you see a train running by, like mini rail fanning. And then you've got the long form content, which is basically my fun run episodes. They can last up to an hour. And I know me personally, you know, when it comes to seeing trains like that, it's like I always want more. It's very addictive. And it's like when I'm watching other YouTubers, you know, I do appreciate that, you know, it is like 10 to 30 minutes, but it's like, you know, I always want more. And it's like that really drove me to find ways to capture content and put it together in a much more longer format. And so the GoPros have been kind of the solution to that. Unfortunately, they do tend to overheat at the hour-and-a-half mark. And so, you know, I had to play around with that a little bit, but I'm happy that I'm able to get at least an hour-long episodes out, because I know there's people out there that want to binge a lot of model railroading, and it shows in my analytics. So that's something that I do appreciate, is that the long form and even the short form content has been working analytically behind the scenes on this channel, and I'm just fortunate enough that you guys are just soaking it all in. And I hope you guys are having fun. That is the big thing about this channel, is I want you guys to have fun and just be able to escape and just sit back, relax, and watch trains run. Now, if you want to get into the more technical side of things, that's when I kind of show you guys Humanity Junction or other YouTubers, because, yeah, I do get somewhat technical. The most technical part of it is probably going to be in my Digitrack series, but that's for up-and-coming newer modelers that are coming up that want to just put a DCC system together. At least I have something to show you guys on how everything runs. But to get into the nit and gritty on the technical side, I leave that for someone else much more smarter than me to do that. But yeah, as far as, like I said, as far as train shows, Samara just wrapped up. I do have a video on the channel. I do have a Samara haul video coming out. Again, it was supposed to come out today, but I made one mistake in the video that I forgot to edit out. And it'll come out hopefully either tomorrow or Sunday night. So, yep, Wigwag, you got it. There's a show by Humanity Junction called Trains and Tech on Tuesdays. If you guys really want to get technical with the hobby, that is the show for you for sure. And we're going to skip this song. Hey, Summer Vibes. This is a good song. This is an old school song I used to use for my videos way back in the day. If you guys are wondering where the music is coming from, it is coming from a website called pretzel.rocks. It is a content-friendly music that's being played. It's all non-copyrighted music. that is safe for YouTube. That is why I use them. They used to be part of, or their origins come from Twitch. That's how I know about them. But it's a great service because I always love playing music. And so when I heard about this service, like, yes, please. Yeah, I do apologize, guys. As far as these podcasts, because this channel actually technically has 2 podcasts. I've got the Icey Rails Podcast here. Also got the Icey Station Podcast. No set schedule for these podcasts, unfortunately, due to my IRL. I am trying to get a master's degree right now, and so it is completely kind of sporadic when I'll go live. If I know for a fact that I'm going to stream, I'll try to do it at least 24 hours in advance, like I did with this particular episode, because I knew for a fact that I want to stream tonight. I had all these cameras to test, had some news, had some mail call items that I want to take care of. So I'll do my best to get the word out. But again, it's definitely sporadic. The best way to follow my content, just do what everyone else does. Subscribe, hit that bell icon. You'll know exactly when I go live. And of course, you can always get us on the replay as well. So let me see. It's going to be business management. That's what I'm working on right now. It's just a very generic master's. But it allows me to see things behind the scenes when it comes to running a business. Because that's something I kind of want to do in the future. I just don't know what business. It'll probably be just YouTubing. I don't know. But it's just a lot of the ins and outs, how to do things financially, how to do things legally. It's a lot of NBA. Yeah. It's just a lot of boring stuff when it comes to business, but I want to learn that stuff. Let's see what else. I think it's time to bring the big boy up. If you guys know me, I am a big fan of the big boy. I think it's time we get the big boy rolling. Let's see. I just gotta figure out how I want to do it. I think we'll park the skill. I think we'll park the big blow, and then we'll bring out the big boy. Nice. If I were to do it all over again, I would definitely get a degree in electrical engineering. This whole hobby has definitely educated me on electrical engineering, and I am passionate for it now. So if I had to do everything over again, I would do electrical engineering. Absolutely. All right, so I think what we're gonna do some ops, so that way I can get the big boy out and park the turbine. So you'll see kind of at the bottom right camera a little bit at Phoenix Point Modular. We're gonna go ahead and we'll try to get the big boy out. So that way I don't have to do the 5-finger pickup. All right, Wigwag, take it easy. Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully you have a good weekend. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select switch 200 because underneath Phoenix Point is a DS64, which allows me to control that turnout via local net, which is pretty cool. So we're just going to go ahead and give it a throne command. It is switched. We're going to call up the 195 here. But of course is not going to cooperate with me. Yep, alright. Of course you want to work now. So I keep forgetting this engine has momentum. So this is kind of the downside with this layout, is that there's only one way in and one way out from the siding, which is again Phoenix Point. So if I want to park trains, it kind of halts the main line, which is something that, yeah, the hand of God for sure. It's the downside with this layout, and it's definitely something that I want to fix because I need to have a proper siding where engines can go in and then go out as well when it comes to the sidings. Because this gets tiring from time to time. I think it makes good content for you guys so you get some options. But when it comes to full-blown, the logistics part of it, it's kind of a pain. Alright, so we'll bring up the big boy. And I've got like 4 throttles right now. I'm trying to manage all these engines. Alright, so let's do 4018, excuse me. Alright, we'll get the big boy rolling. And I do want the sound. Other way. Okay, so we'll get the big boy out. Kind of get a dual kind of drive-by here. So you'll see them on the bottom cameras there. Alright, so here comes the big boy on the bottom right camera there, out of Phoenix Point, onto Harbor Point. So what we're going to do now is we're going to throw another close command. So that way the big boy can back up, and then we'll back up the rock onto the siding. Okay, and then now we'll get the, we'll throw a drone command, we'll bring the rock back in. Now this train does typically derail on the points over here, so I'll have to re-rail it once it gets parked. And then we'll bring the turbine in after that. So this is a cool thing about ops. If you've never been in ops before, it's basically one big puzzle with trains. Now this is actually, it's more simplistic because we're not actually building and deconstructing trains. but it gets a lot more complicated. It's something I do want to showcase eventually on this channel. I do have an idea on how to make it work. And with short keys. So if you guys, I don't know if you guys hear that, but there's a clicking sound. That just means that I'm shorting. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring the rock in. Yep, so the big boy is the latest generation in the River Rossi line. And that has been my most reliable engine I've ever had in my collection. I'm a huge fan of River Rossi. Okay, I think we'll bring the rock all the way around behind the coal train. I think that's what we'll do. Okay, while that's going, let's go ahead and bring the big boy forward. Just to see if we can save us some time here. And we'll bring the big blow forward as well. Alright, the rock is pretty much almost where I need it to be. We'll start moving 1988 so we can get everything else rolling. And then we shall dance. Alright, so the rock is pretty much right where I need it to be. We'll go ahead and park the rock. And then we'll continue to monitor the big boy. We'll get the 1988 kind of pushed forward a little bit so we have some space. Thank you, Mystic. I appreciate that. Have a good one. Can you smell what the rock is cooking? And eventually, what I would like to do is we'll have the proper lights. You know, we'll put red light, green lights, dwarf signals, all that good stuff, so that way we can properly manage like a real layout. Or a railroad, I should say. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and stop the turbine. We'll throw it. And we shall park it. And then I think we'll give the red light here to the big boy here pretty soon. Okay, so now we can give the green light to 1988. We can throw our switch back to the main line. And now we should be on our way. Sweet. Alright, so with that, the big boy can now go ahead and crank it up. And that's pretty much how the layout operates. I basically have one solid main line that goes all the way around. I have basically one big siding. It's not real. Well, yeah, it's a siding for right now, but it's only one way in, one way out, which is on Phoenix Point, which is why I have a kind of a camera all the way down at the center that it kind of captures that a little bit. And there goes the big boy right there. Okay, big boy, you're starting to scare me. Why did you stop? Alright. Alright, I need to check something real quick. Alright, why did you stop? I think it was dust. Gotta clean the track. I think what we'll do is probably for the next live stream as well, I'll bring out the cleaning train. So that way you guys can see how I clean the track. And one thing I keep forgetting to do is that we can turn our camera here. There we go. Get a little more speed on these engines a little bit. So interesting story about this particular big boy. This big boy would run on 15-inch diameter turns. That's what I love about River Rossi. They are reliable and they operate like a dream. Get a drive-by shot here next to me. Well, looks like we got these two pretty close to speed match. So cool. Yeah, I'm debating for this camera that's kind of overlooking one of the turns. It's that bottom left-hand camera. I'm wondering if I should rotate that a little bit more to Phoenix Point. I feel like I should. I don't know. But you can kind of see Phoenix Point in the bottom right-hand camera. I don't know. I still gotta play with things. I think what I'll do is I'll bring the rock forward a little bit so you can see it on the other camera a little bit better. Or you're just gonna get stuck. I mean, that works too. Okay. It's not having anything of it. I think I accidentally stopped it on a joiner, and the wheels may have pushed the joiner. I'll fix it later. Yeah. Oh well. Because that A unit is powered by, it's an Atlas UC93, I think. And then the other one's just a dummy unit. An old school Bachmann. I just basically gutted the DC motor, or I gutted the wiring from the motor to the wheel, so that way it doesn't get any connectivity. So the motor still acts as a weight, and it allows me to convert to DCC in the future. Do I not have the water tenders? Yeah, water tenders are still packed. Yeah. Well, it's parked there, so it'll definitely remind me. And it'll definitely remind me when I go to try to run it. Man, I can just... There's just something about the hobby that's so therapeutic. Just watching the trains go around in circles. People would call me crazy. But it's like, I love just watching trains go around in circles. I'm one of those people. Like, don't get me wrong, it's fun to operate too. It's fun to build and it's fun to paint. But for me, this is the hobby. Setting trains on a throttle and watching them go. There's just something very therapeutic about it. So yeah, I think what we'll do next time is we'll definitely bring out the cleaning train. So that way you guys get to see what that's all about. But I'm probably only going to run it once around the layout because the vacuum car is pretty noisy. And then I don't know what engine I want to run back. Well, actually, I think I'll run the Missouri Pacific steam engine that I got. That's probably what we'll run. You know what we should do probably, once I show you guys the vacuum car, we'll probably have a Missouri Pacific Lines run day. for next stream. I think that sounds pretty fun. I think that's what we'll do. And we'll get the 1982. We'll get the Colorado Eagle. We'll get the new steamer that we got. I think that's what we'll do. All right, I think we'll go ahead and we'll get these engines into a safe spot here. I gotta back up the. I realize I gotta back up the big blow a little bit. Okay. All right, and the big boy will shut off. All right, and we'll bring the MKT around. Bring it on home. All right. All right, we're gonna bring this on in. Slowly creeping up here. See if I can get this dead center here. All right, I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up there. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me on episode 8 of the Icey Rails Podcast, where we just sit back, relax, and enjoy running some trains. I had a great time here on the tech demo for all of our cameras. Again, guys, I've got the Samra Train Show haul video coming out. Hopefully sometime this weekend. Obviously, I'll continue to have my shorts coming out every day. I've got a POV camera that captured the front runner at our local club video coming out. Hopefully that'll be on Sunday. And then, you know, just hang tight and we get some more videos out to you guys. But with that, thank you guys so much for coming out. And wing hugs to all, and to all a good night.